Hello everyone, and welcome back to Norland, and our World War series on the channel. And you may notice here we are missing quite a few buildings, and that's because there was recently an update called the Big Summer Update, and they basically modified some existing buildings, and they also added some new ones. So we actually need to recreate the buildings that we had, and we do get some credit for this. It also knocked down like some buildings that didn't change, like the mill. I think that's just because the tavern expanded in size a little bit, so it knocked out, I think it was sitting right here before, so it did kind of knock that spot out. So we do basically need to place all these buildings again, and I'm going to take this time to kind of rearrange our city a little bit as well. So if you guys want to check out the Big Summer Update, I will leave a link to the Steam patch notes in the description, but I also made a video on that update, so I will leave a link to that video as well if you would prefer to just watch that and get caught up with what's been going on and everything. But we do have a few things to talk about after I finish rearranging and everything. As you can see, there are some differences over on the side here as well. And we'll talk about all that when we get done, rearranging and all that stuff. So I won't make you watch all of that, but I will place all of our new buildings and things like that, and then we'll kind of discuss what's going on and everything. Okay, now this is pretty much what I came up with. So basically what I've done is I put our temple down here, I put our tavern here, and I put our market here, and I've also placed another temple because we have about, it's a little over 50, not even including the prisoners, so we do want a second temple to be able to service everyone. We may even want another tavern in time. I know in the past we had issues with enough people being able to drink and everything, because not having multiple taverns is kind of the same as a temple, but it just doesn't actually tell you that you don't have enough taverns. So anyways, that's that. So this is kind of our little line here, and as you can see, there are these little happy faces. Now, what is this? This is what is now known as comfort, and each building, each residential building, I should say, has a comfort level, and the comfort is based on what it is neighboring. So it has neighbors. These are the actual residents that are neighboring them. Then you have the tavern, which gives you a nice little bonus. The temple gives you a bonus, and the market gives you a bonus. So as you can see over here, this little house only has a +2 to comfort, and that's because it only has the neighbor bonus. It doesn't, it's not close enough to the market and the tavern to actually get that bonus. Personally, I'm okay with residential houses only having a small kind of radius to it, but I think that the market and the tavern and the temple, I think that this little, as you can see, it's kind of a circle, a green circle. I think that this should be a little bit bigger, maybe almost double, really. I think this house right here should be getting the bonus. Now, what I could have done is, if I had realized this before, I could have moved everything like kind of right here, but then we wouldn't have necessarily had enough room to fully surround the tavern and all this little square stuff like that. So that was kind of a little bit of a mistake on my part. But I think in time we can always move things again. But I just don't really have too much wood right now to really go about doing all that again. So we're just going to stick with this for the moment. But the most important thing, I think, is to keep the residential as far away, or at least outside of the red circle that these have, from the production kinds of buildings, or industrial as they call them, because that will actually produce a negative effect in the same exact way as the residential gets a positive effect. So basically what we have here is the residential houses. These actually house warriors now, and you can actually prioritize them. So I went ahead and did these front four being prioritized to warriors, and we actually only have about 48 houses worth of space here right now, and we have a total of, it looks like about 53 or something like that, total warriors and peasants. So we don't actually have quite enough yet, even with these two that I am currently building. As you can see, the ones that we got credited, they are level 3, but the ones that we're going to be building will only be level 1. And I think they go up to level 5. Yes, I believe so. And from 1 to 3, you get 2 residents, and then 4 residents, and then 6 residents. And then the 4th and the 5th level are only for comfort, I believe. And as you can see, there are now 3 different peasant houses, and I'm not sure how I feel about the system yet. As you can see, you kind of rotate them, but they're really just variants. So you have a horizontal, a square, and a vertical, or other way around. This is the horizontal, this is the vertical, and this is the square. So I would prefer them to actually just to stick with this this horizontal one and allow us to rotate it 360 degrees. But at least for right now, because I'm assuming they just wanted to make use of all the art that they just produced and everything, you know, they wanted to have all of those variants. But personally, I think this one's the best. I don't know about you guys, maybe you think a little bit differently. One thing that is nice about the square one is it takes up less overall space. I think this one's 16-ish. I think it's about 16. And these ones are 14? Hold on. Let's actually look. So the horizontal for the residential house, that is 4x4, so that's 16. And the horizontal is 3x5, so actually these ones are 15. And the square one is actually taking up more space as well. So I think that the horizontal and the vertical are the exact same amount of spaces. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. Personally, I think that this one's the best. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think. And the residential, or the Lord Townhouse, is basically the exact same thing, but there is no square variant. So I don't know why we need one for the residential house. I think that we should just be able to rotate between these. But anyways, that is that. What else do we have? Oh, so we basically put a couple more alchemy labs, and we have 3 total, and we're just going to be prioritizing these. These are going to be the main things that we are working with to hopefully get through all of our herbs that we have. We have 163 right now. I slightly moved the herb list, but not very much. And that's basically all of that. And then we have now warehouses, and we have granaries. And the way this works is, as you can see, there is a capacity. You are able to store everything globally still, so this warehouse and this granary contain the same physical things. But the only difference is that there is a total capacity, and if you are over the capacity on any of your items, they will start to spoil, and food and vegetation always spoil, except if they're in the granary, I believe. So basically, we have a spoilage of 5% per day, while they are in the warehouse, or I think the hall as well. Maybe, okay, maybe no spoilage in the hall. But anything that is over this number will actually spoil even faster. So it'll spoil at 10% per day instead of 5% per day. So I guess if they're in the hall or the granary, there will be no spoilage. So that's why we're producing a granary, just in case, because as you can see, we are at our limit on the vegetation. So anything that spills over into the warehouse will start to spoil. And then the food is fine, but granary stores both, I believe. So anyways, that is basically it that I can think of. The Lord Townhouses are the exact same thing, so that's that. The only thing is that the way that the new, there's a new, like, map grid, and it kind of seems like you have a little bit less room to work with in some areas, so we have, like, less fields here. I think we still have, yeah, 1 hop field we could place, but I can't place it anywhere that the fertility is particularly good. We will place it, but we're not going to worry about it right now. And otherwise, oh yes, the lumber mill is the last thing, and we need to set all these workers. There's no upgrades anymore. It seems that they just have 3 by default. It's possible that maybe I just had credited ones. Let's see. Yeah, there's no level display there, so I think that you just have 3 workers on the lumber mills at all times now, which is fine by me. And otherwise, we do have one little issue that I noticed when I was putting this all together. I kept crashing, and while I was passing time, I noticed that Radibor is stuck in a little bit of a loop here where he just keeps going and dueling Sir Ketta. And he does that over and over until he inevitably eventually dies. He can beat her like 5 times or something, and then he will just die. He usually gets decapitated, and we don't want that, so we are actually going to try and expel her this time. Yeah, and so that's that. Hopefully he doesn't get himself killed. Hopefully he can expel her in time. But otherwise, we are just kind of, we're gonna try to take out this bandit camp, but we need to hire more warriors, I think, and to get a little bit more weaponry. So what we're gonna do, I think we'll hire just this one for now. I would like to hire more, but we just don't have a whole lot of money. And Yeah, I think we just pretty much have to go with what we have for the moment. Let's see here. So these don't have anybody on them yet. As soon as we pass time, we should. We also have the economy section. So the way this works now is that it's all kind of like task-based. And let's see here. So this is production halted. That's just because of the building. So for the most part, everything is already pre-set up for us. But one thing I do want to do is change from a cash-based distribution to an item-based one. So we're not going to actually give prisoners grain because I think we're actually going to sell them because we have a little bit too many workers at the moment. And I think what we're going to do, we'll go peasants and we'll give them flour. And you can tick this to distribute the amount per day to everybody so that, you know, if you do it like this, then it's a little bit more confusing because you have 6 given out per day to everybody. So it's kind of, it's saying 72 in total. But if you tick it like this, it'll be that many divided equally among everybody. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set that to max. And that's 12 peasants. I don't know why it's saying 12 peasants. That doesn't seem right. I think it's just because maybe it's dealing with the total amount of flour we have, but that doesn't even make sense because we have more flour than that. So I don't really know why this is happening. Maybe we won't stick with that, but we're going to do that for the moment and see what happens. And we'll do the same exact thing here. So it looks like 18 total flour to the warriors, which is 18 of them. 12 total to the peasants. I don't know why this is. There's definitely a mismatch there. It could just be, let's see here. Is there, oh, okay. I see what it is. It's because everybody is unemployed and that counts as a different kind of a peasant or whatever. So we'll just set for the unemployed, they can just get rutabaga, and we'll go ahead and go back to peasants, beer, and we will give them the max. Warriors, give them beer, give them the max. So this seems okay for the moment, and we can still have trade, so they will still internally trade if they have money. And we should probably check. Let's see here. Sell only 5 of those still. Okay, so this looks all pretty good to me. What we're going to do, though, I want to go see. They're jobless. We need to find somebody who is not jobless. Okay, there we go. Lumberjack. He has 11 gold. 9 gold. So it looks like everybody has a fair amount of gold, and they will just go ahead and keep using that on the internal trade, hopefully, whenever they need to. But otherwise, we'll just distribute resources directly until we can build up a nice amount of gold ourselves. This way, we're not just throwing gold at people that they just have to go and spend anyways. This way, we can just divide everything equally, make everybody happy that way. I don't think there's anything else here we really need to do. Medical salves, no. I don't really know how the distribution here works. We will probably have to give them out manually if people start getting injuries. But either way, we're going to try to hopefully get Radibor to kick Circetta out here, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so he's still trying to duel, so we're going to go to talk to Circetta. Looks like they're still trying to duel. I don't know why this is. Please just exile. Looks like it's working now. Okay. Okay, now another new part to all of these systems is that when you go to research, you can hit learn, and you can actually set this auto-learning, and they will learn the next available research on their own. So we're just going to set that for everybody, so everybody just keeps learning whatever knowledge is actually available for them. I think we'll just take Radibor off there, and we'll set that for him as well. Okay, now it seems Vitamir is very upset, and another new function in the game is that unhappy lords can actually become politicians, and we would prefer not to have that because he may try to put Zivka actually on the throne. Basically, they can try to actually fight for the heir. I think that's how it works. Or maybe the heir can also become a politician. We'll have to see exactly how that all works. She is very, very happy with Radibor right now, so that should be okay. She's crazy about him. He's crazy about her. And so they're doing okay, but we still don't really want a chance that Vitamir will try to start a rebellion. Okay, and it just happened. So Vitamir has become a politic. He's become a politic. A politician, obviously. As long as their loyalty remains high, you have nothing to fear. Moreover, they can be useful as they will gain more experience and develop their skills faster. Nevertheless, he will spend most of his money on not luxury, but expanding his circle of followers. It looks like that's supposed to be something I can hover over, but it doesn't actually seem to allow me to do that. Maybe it's just bolded. Now, I don't know if there is any way to see what his followers look like. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like there's any direct way yet. With their loyalty remaining above 25, they will just expand followers and increase their influence amongst the warriors. Okay. If their loyalty falls below 25, they may issue an ultimatum demanding the crown. If refused, they could incite a rebellion supported by their friends and loyal warriors. And their determination affects their efforts. The character gains 30% more. Okay, yeah, yes. We already know that. So as long as his loyalty is good, it should be fine. His loyalty right now is 24. So, okay, we need to expand that for sure. And what we're going to do, we'll just reward him. Wait, hold on. Did they change that? Reward is 150 instead of ring. So, yes, every lord does now have their own gold, as you can see. And they will spend their gold on rings themselves. So I think all of our rings went back into our purse, and we can't really just give them out in the same way, but we can reward him, and that probably means we don't really need as many rings either. We'll have to see if the hiring cost of free lords has changed, but either way, we'll reward him, and we'll actually take care of that immediately. Okay, so I think we're also going to hire another warrior. Those forest bandits are looking like they're going to attack us soon. And this guy right here is 210, and he's got a nice 14. I think he may be our best option right now. I don't want to keep hiring too many non-Varns, because as you can see, the macaws are starting to overtake Varns as far as our military composition goes. So we are going to hire a Varn this time. Okay, and now we are about to get our iron tribute once again. I think we're going to start working on developing, or rather upgrading more of our buildings. We're going to upgrade these 2 mills. I don't think we can do it on the alchemy labs. That's fine. We can always just create one. I don't want to spend tools on it. But we will upgrade these breweries, and let's see, is there anything else to really upgrade? I don't think so right now. We could upgrade these residential houses to make everybody happier, because the threshold now for migration is actually higher, so mood needs to be a lot better in order to get more migrants. So we could just upgrade the residential houses. So we could just upgrade these residential houses in order to increase the comfort. I don't know what the exact comfort of housing will be. +9. Okay, so that's +19. So that would be very good for warriors at the least, but warriors actually don't contribute, I don't think, to the average mood of peasants, I don't think. So actually it would be better to upgrade the ones that we're not prioritizing to our warriors, I think. So we'll go ahead and do that. We can upgrade all 4 of these ones, I think. I think that would be good. Okay, so we actually got a substantial amount of migrants. It looks like +9. Which means we are going to need a lot more houses really, really fast. We're actually going to go ahead, we're going to place, we'll say, maybe 4 more. And we'll also just place the one over here. Yeah, we can't place another. We could, I guess, do a vertical. And then I think we could do another horizontal here. Oh, maybe not. We might actually be limited here. Yes, okay. We'll just go ahead and ignore that for now. I kind of wish this rock wasn't here. I wish you could kind of just get rid of it somehow, but that's okay. So that's what, 5 more houses, which can be up to 30 more people, so that should be okay. Now, on another note, we do have the 15 homeless, as well as we have 8 unemployed, I think. But we do have very good mood, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. We'll just, you know, let the mood impact our migration and kind of deal with it that way, as long as people aren't severely upset. I think the biggest issue we're going to have now, well, first of all, we need to get the traders so we can sell off this paper, because we have too many resources. We don't want this to all spoil. So we may need to place another warehouse. And I put one here so that it's kind of down the road from this production line as well as these lumber mills. But we may want to place another one, and I'm not sure where the best spot would be. I don't think it impacts mood. I don't think. No. We can actually really just place it anywhere. We don't have to worry too much. We'll probably just place it right here, though. So that's kind of down the road from this lumber mill. And that gives everybody a little bit closer than bringing it to the hall, I suppose. And we'll set that to build first. We're already trying to build the granary first, but they didn't make any progress onto that today for some reason. So that hopefully will not take too long. We don't want our iron. Let's see, is it 5% per day? 10% per day. So there is no 5% decay on the regular resources. It just goes straight up to 10. Okay, so it seems Vitamir and Radibor both want Melonia to die. And she's got an 8 or 6 on combat, and Radibor has what? He's got an 8. So I think he could survive against Melonia, but I'm a little worried about it. I think for now we'll just have Melonia duel. Where's the duel? Do they not have duel anymore? Let's see, Vitamir. I think they might have gotten rid of it. Where is it? Challenge to a duel. There we go. Okay, I'm just blind. So we'll have him go and duel Melonia so that he doesn't get even more upset than he is. Radibor, I think his mood's okay. We could actually have him Flesh Wolf hunt with Zivka. And Melonia didn't die. Okay, that's actually for the best. We do want to keep her around, if possible. So that definitely solved his desire. It did not solve Radibor's, though. Okay, so it seems our priest is also potentially considering an uprising. So what we're gonna have to do, I think, is have either Vitamir or Radibor challenge him to a duel. Because they're doing a duel, if he gets killed during this, we won't actually get impacted by the matriarch. So I think this is probably the best route. Of course, if he survives this duel, then that wouldn't be too good for us, but I'm also not that worried about it. Vitamir should not die during this. I mean, Edbert is pretty strong, but Vitamir is quite a bit stronger. The only difference here is Edbert has a sword and Vitamir has only a mace. So the chances... Oh, and never mind. I was going to say the chances that he actually kills him are not the best, but he just decapitated him with a mace. That's pretty difficult. Vitamir is crazy strong to be able to do that. Just hack a person's head off with a mace. But either way, that takes care of him. They're all, I guess, upset about it or whatever, but honestly, it had to be done. So that should stop them from uprising. The army loyalty is still at risk. There's a bit of a bug here, thus if this character's loyalty falls and they start a rebellion, percent of the warriors will side with them. So I don't know how many that is. That seems to be a bug. Prisoners are poorly patrolled, or poorly guarded. I'm not sure why that is. We definitely have enough patrols. This one has 6, 6, 6 here. I think this one isn't maybe as necessary. We do want to keep protecting them from the wolves, but this is where the majority of our prisoners are working. Don't we have a night patrol? Yeah, we do need to move this. We'll move it. We're actually probably going to need multiple now because so much more residential area exists. And wow, you can't really place this anywhere. Okay, we'll want to maybe place it here. Okay, that's, yeah, not the best spot. Okay, so we'll do one like this, and that covers part of the residential, but we'll need another one. A night patrol here, maybe? Something like this. We'll have to move this if we make another temple. So we'll do, what, like 10 maybe here? We'll go up to 20. Control radius of 3. We'll want to set this up to 20 as well. And about 10. And that's probably the best we can do. Some of these houses aren't covered. But it looks like the hall is covered, the library is covered, the markets are mostly covered, so this should be okay. Now, another thing, I actually forgot to re-snooze this. So the Chancellery, we're probably going to end up having to get rid of it because we have to have the paper in order to deliver instructions. We could do like 3 days worth of instructions right now, I think, but it's not really that useful. Instead, we can just have Radibor do it all himself. Uh, I think he should be fine to do that. So for now, I think we'll just leave it and we'll just see what happens, but we may just end up selling this paper. It looks like it got used somehow. Like they stocked the paper already. But that's okay. So anyways, I think that's where we're going to call it for the moment. It looks like we got some herbs finally restocked and everything. And Paris wants us to send an army, apparently. But we can't really do that because, as you can see, these bandits are going to attack us. So we'll be dealing with that at the start of the next episode. I don't know how it's going to go because we just do not have very many weapons. Let's actually go ahead and see how many people can even have weapons. So it looks like 8. Yeah, 8 of our 19 can have weapons. That's not so good, especially since some of these weapons are held by the weakest people. I don't know if we create an army like this, if they will actually divide the weapons back up to the strongest people. But hopefully this guy will at least get here a little bit faster. What happened to our other? Did he desert? Our really strong guy that... Oh, he's right here, I think. Hopefully that's him. So we do have one that's pretty strong. We're still waiting on this one, but they're not going to be here for 7 hours, and this guy's going to be here in 3. So maybe he'll get there, like, right before the battle ends, but we'll probably just have to deal with this ourselves. Luckily, these guys are all pretty weak, though. But either way, that's going to be it for this episode, so, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.